Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And today I want to do a true story episode about Axl Rose's guitar playing skills and his abilities. So a lot of you guys who are Guns N' Roses fans of course know that Axl played guitar on Dead Horse whenever they recorded the song, as well as when they would perform it live in 1993 as part of the Skin and Bones tour. What you guys may not know is that towards the mid-90s and all the way to Chinese Democracy, Axl was learning guitar as the years would go on. In fact, he's even credited with some of the guitar work on Chinese Democracy. But really the first time I think anybody saw Axl play guitar was in 1989 when Guns N' Roses opened for the Rolling Stones for 4 shows at the LA Coliseum. So the second night, Axl actually picked up the bass guitar during Rocket Queen and jammed a bit with the band. Here's footage of that. So really the first time I've heard Axl talk about playing guitar was in his interview with Kurt Loder, where he talked about playing a couple songs on the upcoming Use Your Illusion record. So the songs he played on include Shotgun Blues and, of course, Dead Horse. Here's a clip of the interview.
There'd be a few acoustic things, there'll be some songs that are acoustic going into electric, back to acoustic and stuff like that. I actually play guitar on a couple songs for the first time. I can only play 2 strings, but it's some pretty cool punk rock type stuff.
How come,
So towards the end of 1996, as Guns N' Roses tried to reconvene in the studio to write a new album, there was a number of interviews that Slash and Duff gave talking about Axl playing guitar. So in July of 96, Slash talked about Axl, saying Axl is a rhythm guitar on his own songs for the time being. And even Duff said that for the last couple of years, Axl has started to go, okay, I'm going to try to play guitar and actually learn what these notes are. It's an innocent guitar, not unlike Izzy was, but Axl's got a lot more musically than Izzy ever did. And even Slash said in 1997, he said, that tripped me out when I first came back to Guns N' Roses, Slash says. I figured, okay, that's where his focus has been. I haven't really talked to him about it, to tell you the truth, referring to Axl. I guess he's just been sitting at home figuring out chords or something. Maybe he's been taking lessons. So Matt Sorum in September of 1996 said right now he's playing guitar and it's like he's played the instrument for 10 years, referring to Axl. And Slash said in early 97 that Rose's sound is a lot more synthetic than anything I would get anywhere close to. That's all about I can say. And Slash said just before leaving Guns N' Roses, as far as I know, Axl's intention is not to be the rhythm guitar player. So it was known at the time that Circus of Power member Gary Sunshine was the one who taught Axl to play guitar, although it's debatable at what point they actually began working together. So Gary Sunshine is an important name because he actually played on the song Oh My God, which came out in 1999 for the End of Days soundtrack. So I had the opportunity to interview Guns N' Roses producer Martin Youth Glover, who worked with Guns N' Roses in late 97, early 98 for several months, and he was really the first producer to get Axl Rose to sing since 1994, and I asked him about Axl Rose's guitar playing abilities. Here's what he had to say.
So was he a pretty good guitar player?
He was just learning. He'd been getting some lessons from Buckethead or someone, and he was learning. He was like, oh yeah, he was pretty good. I mean, he's an incredible piano player.
Yeah.
I also had the opportunity to interview Sean Bevan, who was the producer on Chinese Democracy after Martin Youth Glover, and he talked a bit more about Axl's guitar playing on the album.
One thing I was curious, like when you were working with the band, I'd read a lot around that time that Axl was taking guitar lessons and was looking, there were some rumors that he was going to be the rhythm guitar player. So did he play guitar on any of the tracks that you were?
Yeah, he played guitar on, and the tracks that he was playing guitar on were some of the more kind of loop oriented tracks, the more kind of modern loopy stuff like Madagascar and those kind of songs. Those were all being done in a small studio that Billy Howardell was running. Kind of, that was his baby, and Axl was playing a lot of guitar there. You know, I don't know how much of Axl's guitar ended up on the record, but he played quite a bit of guitar.
were you impressed by his abilities when you heard him play? Like, could you see him as a legitimate guitar player in a different band or in Guns N' Roses if he had to?
Well,
or do you think that it
depends.
The rumors of his stage fright may contribute live.
Yeah, I don't like. That's the thing. I think that might have been one of the things that kept him from kind of doing more guitar, is because of that kind of idea of being a little bit afraid of doing it on stage. He loved the idea of kind of being less dependent on others. You know what I mean?
Right.
And having that, learning the instrument in order to be able to go, well, I've got this idea, and he wanted to be able to like lay that idea down. And sometimes he'd lay that idea down, and because of his kind of novice playing ability at that thing, like certain things would come out that were kind of special. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that thing of like, if you pick up an instrument that you barely know, but you're more interested in like the sound and the vibe that comes out of it, and you'll do something that a more accomplished player won't do, but it ends up serving the song better. Like sometimes that would occur, you know, and other times he'd play something that was kind of like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea, and we get another guitar player to play it more like a, big, great guitar player, and I think that's a valuable thing as far as playing goes. I mean, it probably pissed off guitar players more than anything else, but that's that's kind of the way it goes. And anytime you have an artist finding a way to express themselves a little bit better, then it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when Guns N' Roses played Rock in Rio back in 2001, Axl did actually play guitar on stage. So during the bridge section of Madagascar, you can actually see him playing guitar with the rest of the band before going back to singing the vocals. So when Chinese Democracy came out in 2008, Axl was credited as playing guitar on both There Was a Time and Madagascar. So he was asked by a fan on one of the fan chats that Axl did back in 2008 exactly which part of There Was a Time he wrote. So he said, I wrote Robin's bit in the second verse. There's a microscopic bits usually woven down in the other guitar parts. There's bits throughout the end, and the basic chord bit was originally mine. There's a ghost-like bit that's formed the basis for the end vocal melody right before Robin's riff in one side and the outro before Bucket's solo. And as it gets to the very end, there's a lot of little overdubbed bits woven in and out of very small but structured bits. Does that make sense, guys? So there was another fan question that asked Axl why he doesn't play guitar on stage more often, to which Axl responded he just doesn't have the skill to play guitar that often on stage. So that does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses Central. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your comments in the section below, and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. You guys can also go to gnrcentral.com to stay up to date on the latest GNR news. Take care.